recording. So it's really simple. Unfortunately, yesterday I was having issues. It wasn't showing up as an option under my section. But if you open your Apple devices, so you depending on the type of phone you have, you either swipe down or you swipe up if you have an iPhone.
I heard it.
What?
Yeah.
And if you don't see the option here because I'm casting right now myself,
Wow.
but if you click this, it's going to show you the different options of things you can cast to.
Okay.
So right now I'm casting to my computer's Zoom app, but I could switch it to the family room TV and cast it to my TV. So that's how you cast your full video or like screen, and that would be a video or a or that would be an iPad or a iPhone.
Yeah.
You could also find a video in, say, YouTube or HBO or Netflix. You just click on some video, and you would hit this little icon up here in the corner. Did you see that up here where it says visit advertiser? And this is going to tell you where do you want to cast it to. So I'd want to cast that to my, oops, it's not supported. You're not seeing this, are you?
No.
Are you seeing this? No. Are you seeing YouTube at all?
We see your phone.
Yeah, that's sort of.
So you see
There you
YouTube.
go.
Yes.
You see up at the top, oops,
Whoops.
okay. So that's not going to let me. Well, there's a little icon. Let's see if I can take a photo of it real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
So done. Save to photos. Okay. So, do you see up on the top right corner, there's a square, a black square
Yes.
with, if you click that, it will give you that same list of options it showed you earlier for me, where it said family room, Zoom, and it would show you what TVs or things you could send it to. You could maybe send it to a Alexa or some other sound device if you just want to play audio. But that's how you can do it from specific apps. So that little square icon with the Wi-Fi thing on top, you'll find that in any kind of streaming app. You find that on YouTube, Netflix, or something that looks similar to it. It might not be exactly like it, but that's how you cast.
Okay, and the TV just has to be on.
And connected
Yes.
to the internet.
Right.
And you need to be same internet, yeah.
Oh.
So is it similar, Stephen, for Androids?
Yes. It's almost exactly the same icon, except it's usually white.
You
With a black
swipe
background.
down or swipe up to get to it from your
No, it just shows up on the application window.
okay.
Yeah, it's not part of the Android screen, it's part of the streaming screen.
So you need to be in the app.
Yes.
So Lynn, I don't know how many people here are on iPhones, but I had a really funny / incident with my iPhone this week. We have those collapsible chairs that you use to go watch football games and stuff and sit under the trees sometimes to read. And there's a little thing to put drinks in. And normally what I did the other day was I had put my phone in there, which I had done a lot of times before. And then when I put my arm on the chair, all of a sudden I was calling 911.
My,
And I got, and the guy actually came on and said, "Do you need an ambulance, a fire, or whatever?" And I said, no, I'm fine. It was just a mistake. Of course, I didn't have any clue what I'd done. I had no idea what I'd done. So I put the phone back in, and sure enough, within seconds, and then I put my arm down, it dialed 911 again. So I turned the thing off and then got to thinking about it in the middle of the night. And what had happened was that normally I would put the phone in upside down into the cup. But this time I had put it in right side up, and the rim of that drink thing was right opposite. And that's the other thing. I had no idea how it automatically did it. So I had to look that one up. But it automatically was next to the 2 buttons that needed to be pushed to call 911.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you hold your phone, there's, depending on the model, if you press this to like, oops, if you press these 2 guys, maybe, you should see 3 options: medical, emergency SOS, or power off. If you hit emergency SOS, it's going to call
I had it on
911.
auto, I had it on auto call, so I've taken that off.
Oh, okay. So she went one step
You
worse
had
than
on
that.
Yeah.
emergency ice request.
It's a good thing to know how to do if
Ice.
you're an iPhone user, because if you use that, if somebody finds your phone and uses that as a way to like call 911 versus calling on your own device, it's also going to then notify any emergency contacts on their phone. So the way mine's set up, it would notify my parents and say, hey, there's an issue, you should be aware. And then they can reach out and figure out where she's going, where I'm going and stuff like that. But the medical ID stuff is good if you happen across someone on the side of the road having a medical emergency. It should tell you what kind of things they have. So it might say, oh, this person's got heart issues, so it's probably a heart attack, or this person's an epileptic. So if you ever stumble or a first responder in an incident, those are some good tips to look up. Anyway, that's
Lynn, I
my,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Hello,
No.
everybody.
Please.
I haven't been here for a while, and I hope
Hi,
everyone's
Virginia.
having a good summer.
we've missed you.
I know it's been busy, but I'm making a commitment. I really want to try and attend when I'm home. So, quick question, because I won't be able to stay on the whole
Yeah.
hour. Tonight, I'm leading the Celebrate Recovery group, and one of our members helped me set up the Zoom link. So I just want to make sure I don't have any snafus. The little icon that I have, Lynn, of the video camera, if I click on that, it will show me my meeting I scheduled tonight. And then there's a button that says start. Is that all I have to do to get in there tonight?
So when you go on tonight, you should see, let's see if I can find this.
Okay.
You should see something like this.
You know, I don't see that, Lynn.
Okay.
You know that little icon on the toolbar that looks like a video camera?
Yes. Oh, that little blue, do you see at the bottom of the screen, there's some
Yes,
icons?
that
It's the
one right
blue
there.
right
That-
there.
Yes. If I click on that,
Mhm.
it shows my meeting, and then there's a button that says start.
Mhm. Yes. Oh, you're right. I have the wrong screen. You should see something that looks like this. If I can find it. That's not what I want. Is it that? No. You should see something that looks like this. But we're in a meeting right now, but
Yeah.
it should say, start right here.
Exactly. That's what I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just click on that, Lynn, at the designated time.
Yep.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, you can try the blue link that you send in the email to all the Celebrate Recovery folks.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yep.
And my next question, I don't want to hog up the time, but the person who helped me, she just told me to like click here, do this, do that. And I have to lead again in August. And could you just walk me through how to set up the free Zoom? Because we only meet for 40 minutes because it's the free one.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just tell me how to set it up, Lynn?
Yeah. So if you go back to Zoom,
Little icon?
the icon up at the top, you should see home chat meetings. If you click the meetings, you're going to see what you saw to start the meeting tonight.
Okay.
And it will have all the upcoming meetings with the start button.
Okay.
But if you go to the home button, you will have 4 options. One of them should be schedule. And these are grayed out just because we're in a meeting right now. But if you click on schedule, it's going to ask you to name the meeting, set the time, if it's going to be reoccurring, or anything like if you want everybody to be muted, if you want a password or a waiting room, you can decide all that stuff in those step by step, and then it will say create, and then you'll see it listed in your meetings when you are done, and then you can just copy the meeting information and paste that in the email to the CR people.
Okay. That sounds good. And my last question, I still am having issues with the meeting we have with our step study Monday night. That's 2 hours, an hour and a half long. Gail was the one that her name was on it. And I guess she paid the $40 or whatever you pay to get a longer meeting. Do you know how I could send out the link myself? Like, she's been making me host, but she has to send out the link.
If you just copy the link from her email, do you remember how we talked about copy and pasting?
Yes.
So if you just highlight that link and copy it and then pasted it in a new email, you should be able to do that.
And what happens since it will be a different date?
Depending on how Gail set it up, if she set it up as a reoccurring meeting, you should be able to still get in.
Got it.
But you might want to just check with Gail and make sure it is the reoccurring meeting. But I know we talked about that at one point.
Right, we did. All right, thank you very much. Those are my questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Virginia, you've become a techie.
No, not really, Dan.
Yes,
It's good to see
yes.
you, Dan.
Good
I
to
miss
see you, but you are now a techie, I can tell.
I'm trying.
You ask all these pithy questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Sue, you got your mouse. Congratulations.
And it's white, so I should be able to find it.
Oh, good. Have you set it up yet?
No. I do. I just opened the little box, and it does have that.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't mean a thing to me. And it has this.
Oh, that should mean a lot to you.
Yeah,
That's-
that'll be easy.
It's beautiful.
I don't know what
And
more you
then-
want.
I didn't get out my magnifying glass yet, but there's these little tiny words. I
That's
think
the
the font's
disclaimer.
like 1. I don't know why they do that. Safe paper, I guess. So if we have time later, I'd love assistance. Well,
Yeah, we're happy to help you if you want,
yeah.
You
to
just
do
need-
that.
You just need longer arms.
Yeah. Morning, Terrence.
Good morning.
Are you on the iPad that you want to hook it up to? Okay. Let me see. Oh, I don't have enough. If you open your iPad and go to the settings app,
Okay.
and I'm guessing this is how you do it, because if I remember correctly, if you go to the Bluetooth section
Yes.
and turn on the mouse, does the mouse have its
Oh.
batteries?
Well, there is other devices which has the twirling circular
Yeah.
symbol. Under that, it has Logitech Pebble.
Is that the name of the mouse that you got?
Yes. And
So-
now it says Bluetooth pairing request.
Yep.
And I select pair.
Yep.
Yep.
There we go. And now, even though it's twirling, it does have on that line with Logitech Pebble, the word connected and a blue circle with an eye in the middle.
Awesome. So now if you leave that app, if it says connected next to it, you should be able to leave the settings app and start using your mouse. Theoretically.
Okay, well, I will try that. And if if I can't, I'll just ask again.
If it
But
says
I'm really
connected under
excited
my
about it.
devices, it means that it's working.
Okay.
So, for example, I'll cast again. This time with my iPad. If you go under my Bluetooth settings, I have 3 things right now that I have connected. One is a smart pencil, which I'm holding right here. I have AirPods, which I don't have in right now, and the Ottoman is a gimbal. But they all should be working. If they're not working, if you click on AirPods, it's going to try to refresh it. So if it's not connected, you can try refreshing it. And it should reconnect it, but that's if it's not working. So play around with it, see if that fixes it. If not, we'll try again. It should be that easy.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. And that's
Keyword, should be.
actually on my list. On my list is my pencil, which I purchased at the same time as this iPad 6 years ago. And never.
Or you got one of these.
Well, yeah, but although I went through the initial connection of placing it in the little docking port,
Mhm.
I was working, I never got an app to use it, and I just let it sit in the box for 6 years. And it doesn't seem to want to connect at all now. So I'm wondering if anyone here uses one, and if there is one in particular they use if they're into a drawing app.
So did you get the Apple Pencil or did you just get a stylus pencil?
The Apple.
Okay. So what, did you get the newest model of the iPad when you bought the iPad or?
Well, it's an iPad Pro from 6 years ago. I don't know what model it is. I
Oh, then
haven't
you
bought-
should have, so iPad Pro, what, 6 years ago is what, 2016? Apple Pencil. So,
I love it when you Google, and I should have, you know.
Yes.
so I think you should still be using the first generation Apple Pencil, which is a little bit different. You have to charge it. You might need to charge it before it can dock. I don't have the first generation one, but if you there should be a little thing when you unplug the top, and you should see like a little charger, like
Yes.
your iPhone. So you might need to just charge it. But then you just hook it up after it's done charging, set it up with the Bluetooth the same way that we just did with your iPad.
On settings. Okay, we'll give it a go. I'm sure I didn't charge it properly or long enough or whatever, maybe.
Well, you also charged it 6 years ago. It may be a little
I did.
tired.
Yeah, usually there's a little bit of juice when they give it to you, but after 6 years, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But
That's it for
I'll
me.
double check with my mom because she has a first generation Apple Pencil too. So she,
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
um,
I'll do that after the show, after I called this the show, after the class today.
okay,
We are a cast of characters, aren't we?
we are, we are.
Lynn, your
We have
mom looked
fun.
yesterday like she could be your sister.
I'll let her know that.
Yeah.
Lynn, our Bible study last night, these gentlemen will tell you went very well.
Good.
Good.
Thanks to you, you were prayed for. I mean that. Who's your boss?
Jerry and Don.
Jerry. Yeah, Jerry was
Jerry.
here and you were prayed for, and we were just so thankful that you brought us beyond Revelation into the book of James. So that it's an overall happier place, I think. So,
Mm.
Good.
Good. And also, about 2/3 of the people were still Zooming. Steve, what do you think?
Half and half.
Half and half?
Yeah, it was 5 and 5.
And half stayed home and just unhooked and got into their pajamas. The other half went outside. So that may be an indicator what's going to happen. It's early, yeah, but.
Mhm. And people might get more comfortable as the year goes on, but so you could hear all the discussions. You felt included in the discussions.
Oh, I always feel included.
Okay.
'Cause
My fear is that the leader's going to forget about you and just like start talking to the people in the room.
Remember, I have that gift of verbosity. I just keep talking. So, no, it went smoothly. I'm trying to. They were writing on things.
Mhm.
Taking.
Yeah, I
notes
saw the
on things.
whiteboard was being used in the photo Jerry sent.
Yeah.
We did have one participant who tended to mumble a little.
Jerry did say that he was like, people need to remember to speak up. And I was like, I talked pretty quietly from the back of the room and you guys seem to be able to understand me.
Yeah,
But-
he was mumbling into his chest. We
If
didn't
you're a
hear him
mumbler,
all
I
the
think
time.
that's a different issue.
Yeah,
Are you? You're not talking about anybody on here, are you?
no.
I'm not.
Yeah. Mumblers are just hard to hear in general.
It's okay. I can take destructive criticism well. So
You were not mumbling.
Okay,
It was somebody in the Zoom room.
okay. But I think it's gonna work well, and last night with rain coming, I don't know if it had rain, but that's a perfect example of how people didn't need to necessarily be out and drive home from church.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Your boss prayed for you at the end, so
Oh,
he did.
Sweet.
He thanked us for praying for you, so.
thank you.
So you're appreciated.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you guys too. Any other questions or
Anything.
things?
Lynn,
Dan, you don't have a list?
before you get into that, Dan, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to everybody. We're heading up to upstate New York today for the
Which part?
Well, it's south of Syracuse. It's called Norwich.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a small cabin up there and we go up there pretty frequently.
nice.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
thank you so much. And thanks for your help. I really appreciate it.
Of course. It's good to see you.
Good
Have
to
a
see
good-
Yes.
you.
Have a good time. Say hi to your family.
Thanks,
Okay.
Dan. Take care. now.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
I had a
Yeah.
quick question, but of course I can't really show you now what it was doing. On my new Samsung Galaxy phone, when I go to camera and I hit video, I have things at the top. One of them, up until now, gave me a choice. I could have UHD, FHD, and HD, but now it seems to be on default FHD 30. What do these mean, and do I need them?
High definition is HD.
I figured that.
30, is it a video? 30
on-
frames per second would make sense.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
So there's a frame rate. When you film something, there's a frame rate. So as you know, movies back when they were on actual film were just photos after photo after photo shown at a really quick speed.
Yeah.
So the normal film rate back in the day was 24 frames a second. And actually in the silent movie era, they would actually speed it up even faster so that they could get through more screens in a day. So people were just,
That's why they
But-
move so fast.
but with newer technology, the standard has become 30 frames a second. And you could even do 60 if for like super high def, like sports stuff is 60 frames per second. Now, so I'm guessing the 30 is 30 frames per second.
Okay.
And
So
the
where it is
the UHD would be ultra high def, which may be 60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could click it over to before, and I can't do it now.
Oh, it's all
The
grayed out.
FHD is grayed out, so I mean, if I restarted the phone, maybe I'd be able
Maybe.
to. But
Maybe,
you're saying that FHD 30 is fine.
yeah.
Mhm.
For what you're doing, I'm guessing that would be fine.
My grandson mostly, so.
Unless he's doing
fast, but-
sports and you want it to be really nice, I'd
Yeah.
say that's fine.
Is
Okay,
it still
thanks.
a track phone? Are you still using a track phone?
When my son took me to pick out this phone, they connected my track phone information to this phone. So I'm still, when I need something, I will pay for it through track phone, which is really cheap.
So is
The
it
only
possible?
issue, what?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The only issue I have is when I can record, say for 2 minutes or something, but when I go to forward that to my daughter or my sister, who I want to share the video with, it says it's too big. It won't send it. So I've
Okay.
cut it down, and now 11 seconds seems to be the sweet spot. Anything up to 11 seconds. But my son showed me how to edit, at least from the beginning and the end, so I can condense it. I can keep it on the part that I want.
Mhm.
But I'd love to be able to send longer ones, but we tried that once before, Lynn, and I wasn't able to when I had the old track phone, so I don't know.
Well, is it possible that they can charge you more and you can do it? I mean, that they'll, the plan you have doesn't include that and you can pay an exorbitant price to have it go through?
I mean, I could ask them. I usually just buy things from them online and it's airtime. And what do I want to say? Data
Mhm.
and minutes.
Yeah.
So those are
Yeah.
the things. And usually it's just, I don't go through much. So because I don't have a lot of music, I don't watch videos except, once in a while.
Mhm.
But
Well, the
so
reason
far I
I'm-
haven't really
yeah.
needed it.
I
The reason I'm
think,
asking is because I'm thinking of going back to Page Plus to have my Eastern Shore cell service. But I don't know if they're on Verizon, but I don't know if that would give me all the things I need that I now have. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know what I'm asking for. I don't know, like faster things or more data. I don't understand that. So that's what's hanging me up for not going back.
I think you need a 6-year-old pencil.
Oh, Dan, you're too much.
That could solve your problem.
You sure pay attention, Dan.
You think, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I
don't
could do comebacks that quickly.
know. I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that, Nancy.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm staying with what I've got and just
Mhm.
maybe someday I'll be able to communicate on the Eastern Shore. I don't know.
Just think of it as like freedom, like you're
Yeah.
getting away, from
Exactly.
technology.
Exactly.
Well, I want to mention I just checked, there's no 6-year-old pencil available. A wonderful friend that has helped me over and over told me I might as well get rid of it because it's too old. So it's gone. I just checked where I would have had it. I was pretty sure I tossed it. So is there one that anyone would like to recommend for my, for specific, is there something special that we know works well when you're using a drawing app, or should I just
So Apple Pencil came out in 2015.
Okay.
So if it's an Apple Pencil, it should still work perfectly fine with your device, unless you got a newer device that's no longer compatible with your device. You don't know what generation you got of iPad, did you?
I don't know how to find out, but I'm much sure.
Does it say, hold on.
Would it have anything on it?
So in the about section, it should tell you. It should tell you under the about section.
Yeah.
It should say in oops, not, I don't want to send it there. It should say that under the third thing, it should say model name.
Yes.
What's the model name?
ML02LL/A.
Yeah, but what's the model name above that?
iPad Pro 12.9 inch.
Okay. So that's iPad Pro first or second generation, which is compatible with the first generation Apple Pencil. So you should be set with that pencil.
Except it went into the dumpster.
Oh, you already threw it away.
I would recommend looking for one on eBay.
You could probably get a refurbished Apple Pencil on the internet.
What does Apple do with a pencil that makes it special?
It's kind of like what Ed did last night in your Zoom meeting, writing on the smart board. So for example, if you're a drawer, on iPad, you can draw. If you're a note taker, you prefer writing notes, you can write with the pencil and it will turn it into text.
You can write on what, you mean?
On the
iPad.
iPad.
Oh,
Your screen.
On the screen. I use it when I read my emails in the morning. A lot of them are long, so I just scroll. I use it to scroll up and down and stuff. Versus my finger. It's easier to hold the pencil.
My son is a cartoonist and he writes his whole cartoon on the iPad or the
Mhm.
computer.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
which cartoon does he write?
Foxtrot.
Oh,
He's been
I
doing
will
it
look
for
into that.
you'll have to send us some of his work.
foxtrot.com. Go for it.
Do we just search his name,
No,
or
just
does he
go
do?
foxtrot.com.
He does all of them?
Yeah, he's been doing it since 1988.
Wow, I didn't realize it was just him.
His name is Bill Amond.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't put that together.
Oh. Yes, he used to do dailies. He used to do it 7 days a week, which was a killer, so to speak, because he had two deadlines. One was for Monday through Saturday and one was for Sunday, because the Sundays were a separate contract. And when his kids became teenagers, it got to be too much, so he's only doing Sundays now. But he was, at least when he was doing dailies, in well over 1,000 papers.
Wow,
Wow.
look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading them as a kid.
He has more books out than Calvin and Hobbes.
Wow.
His name claimed fame.
Well, he's been doing it longer than Watterson did it.
Yeah, 1988.
Yep.
that's a lot of pressure to keep.
Yeah, it was. To be funny that many days a week was.
Yeah.
It was funny
Wow.
in the beginning. We could see ourselves in the cartoons, and we could see our, like, if he did a camping scene, it would be our camping equipment, or if it was a thing in the backyard, it looked like our backyard. But he's now done it long enough that it's, you know.
Now his kids are in it. Now
Yeah.
the next generation.
Well, no, but his kids are grown too, so.
Yeah, but they, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
How about it?
Small world. Yeah, I loved that as a kid.
Yeah, our claim to fame.
Oh, man.
I only draw stick people.
Yeah. That's
But
cool.
Most parents, when they hear their child wants to go into the art field, they kind of groan and go, yeah, but what are you going to do to make money?
Well,
Right,
that's-
right.
What we said to him was go get a good degree, good education, so you have something to fall back on. So he went to Amherst College and majored in physics. And he did come very close. He took the GREs in physics to go back and get a doctorate before he got syndicated, but you know, it took him 4 years out of college to get syndicated.
Wow.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to this fun in my life. I haven't seen them, so foxtrot.com will be my new buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's neat. It
fun.
has the last 6 Sundays right on the website.
Right.
And then there's this archive going back. It says there are 102 pages of the archive.
Mhm.
You can be reading, you're reading for the summer.
Yeah.
And the fall.
Small world. We'll have to buy one of the books and have him give them to you so you can have him autograph it for us. You
We
know,
can do that. We can do that.
in like 25 years, they'll be famous and worth a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I love those weird connections. It's like Donna Harrison's daughter who works at Colbert, you know, it's just
Ah,
funny.
I bought the 50-year anniversary Doonesbury,
Mm,
but I haven't looked at it yet.
Hmm.
I looked
Yeah.
at the first cartoon. So I have 50 years to go now. Just haven't felt like getting into it.
Yeah, after the complete Calvin and Hobbes came out, Bill did the best of Foxtrot because his had so many that it would have been volumes and volumes. And so it's just a 2-volume thing.
mhm.
But that was
Cool.
years ago, so. Mhm.
You know, our church, there's a lot of people with background and gifts and so on, you know.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of talented folks out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions today or things you want to talk about?
Boy, everybody knows everything.
Yeah. Well, for me, I haven't tried to do anything, so I don't have any questions, but
It's,
Yeah,
now that I have a mouse, I might have a question or two next week.
yeah,
That's-
try it out. And
that's
in the
kind of the
meantime,
way I
order
handle
a
life.
first generation Apple Pencil and
Okay, yeah.
you should be
Okay,
able to
I'll-
set it up without us because you now know how to set up Bluetooth.
And it has to be first generation. I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah, the
Yes,
second generation's not going to work for your iPad. You need a newer model iPad.
Or buy a new iPad.
If you have to
oh,
actually,
there you go, that'll be much cheaper.
Oh,
actually, let me Google real quick because the Apple, the third generation, also, yeah. Okay, or not Apple TV, Apple iPad. Okay, so the third generation actually, if it's third generation, which was released in 2012, it's, you can use the new ones. So we might want to look into that.
That would be good if I did end up, I do have a crack in my screen. It is 6 years old. I do love it. So one day I might purchase a new iPad, not soon, but then the third generation would probably work then with the new one, and that would be the end of it.
So,
Probably.
fifth generation was released in 2017. So you might have the fourth generation, which was released in models.
When was the first generation?
Um,
They run around $70 on eBay.
I remember it coming out at like around 2010, April 3rd, 2010.
Oh,
very good.
you were there, huh?
I didn't have one, but I kind of remember
I
that.
thought Patty, I thought it was one of the first ones. She still has it. Is there any reason why she should be replacing it?
Unless it's too old.
How about the battery?
Or the battery's not working.
There's one for 58.
And I keep getting off screen looking for it, and I know I don't have it. Darn it.
It's work. She doesn't go anywhere without it. She loves it.
Sorry, I'm Googling size. Okay.
Then I gotta leave.
Okay. So
Guys.
the third generation, there's a 12.9, which was announced in 2018, but available in, so that's probably too old. So second generation 12.9. Both were announced in 2017. So 2017 would have been only 5 years ago. So you might have the first gen.
But if I purchase the third generation one or find one, I could use that or the first generation one probably.
So first generation uses up through, yeah, I would probably go for first gen.
What do you gain by the newer ones?
The newer one, the iPad will charge the Apple Pencil. The first gen, you have to charge it like an iPhone. That's the big benefit of the newer one.
Oh. I know to activate mine, I put it in the iPad's portal where you charge the iPad.
Yeah.
And I
Then
don't
you had the
anything else
first
to put in.
generation.
Okay, so that was where I did the charging would have been.
So
Okay.
you would, if you bought it at the same time, you'd want the first gen.
Okay. Yeah, I did. Thank you.
You're welcome. That solves that question.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I've got a mouse. I might get a pencil. We're like rocking and rolling at my house.
Yep. Cool.
I have a quick question, I hope.
Yeah.
Up in the corner of my computer for managed notifications, one popped up today. It says optimal resolution notification. The optimal resolution is 1360 by 768. Select this notification for more information.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
Optimal resolution notification.
Mm-hmm.
The optimal resolution is 1360 by 768. Select this notification for more information. And I don't quite see how to click on it. There's a
You just
carrot.
click on the whole thing.
Oh, it disappeared. This is why I'm afraid to do anything without Lynn, but it didn't matter. Okay, let me just.
It'll come back sometime. It's telling you you can use your screen to a higher definition.
Yes.
Or possibly lower, depending on what you set on now.
Right. It might have been when we were connecting my laptop to the TV to watch something and it was a little choppy or slow or something. And, you know, like you've taught us, we lowered, what do you call it? The speed
resolution.
setting. Yeah. And didn't put it back.
Possibly.
I don't know. Anyway, it disappeared.
Eventually it'll come back.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yep. They always do.
Okay.
Very persistent until you do something about them.
Yes.
One of your options is often don't tell me this again.
Oh, I do
Is
want
what?
to mention, well, I'm thinking, I don't know if you guys saw in the news yesterday, there was a new Microsoft Windows update that came out yesterday for some hacking stuff that's really important to update your software. So if you have not updated your Windows software in 24 hours, if you have a PC, you should do that immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
I wonder why
Pastor John saw it on CNN yesterday. So
I wonder why it didn't just do it.
Yeah, isn't it?
if you have
doesn't it go
automatic
down-
software updates, it should have just done it, but double check.
Oh, maybe that's why I had to log in yesterday.
There
You
you
might
go.
have done it while you were sleeping.
You
I
know,
had an update possibility last week and did it, but that's too soon probably.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Okay,
Pastor John saw it on the news. So,
okay.
and they sent out a mass. Don sent out a mass email to the staff to update.
Thank you.
The news now, almost 3 or 4 times a week, this hacking crap comes on. Again
Ransomware.
and again and again. 2 things. What can they do about this? I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And to what extent does it affect? It affects people out there doing all sorts of things. To what extent does it affect me?
Mm-hmm. So it's only going to get worse, Dan, unfortunately, because hackers are always 2 steps ahead of us. We can't really preemptively prepare for them in a way. We're always reacting to them. But depending on the type of events that's happening, these ransomware attacks that you've seen in the news,
Right.
they are for big businesses typically. So if you're a user of those specific companies, you might be affected. They might have gotten your password or personal information if they are on there. So if you use whatever company, it's good practice to just change your password automatically. The company should notify you and say you were part of the group that was released, your information was released, but they don't always, or it comes too late. But just you personally, my guess is these people are going to go after the big businesses more than the individuals, but you should just be very, very cautious of phishing information. Don't click on links of emails that you don't know. Don't respond and give people passwords like poor Sue. I know one of our other tech time volunteers or groupies had a similar issue this week. It was actually a link that got him access. So if you guys might have gotten one from Ken this week.
What kind of thing happened? I want to know what
So in Sue's case, they reached out and asked for her password, correct?
Yes, but it was late at night.
Yes.
And I was very groggy.
Yes.
They asked me to verify my password because Microsoft was updating something.
Mhm.
So that's why I went, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So just be very skeptical when you get emails like that. You could forward them to me. If it says urgent, need this immediately, it's probably a red flag from that. The situation from one of the Westminster members this week, there was a link that they accidentally clicked that got access to their email that way. And that person actually forwarded all their emails to their email account. So even though they changed their password, the guy still was able to get in the second time because the emails were being forwarded to him or her. So just double check and make sure that, there's no forwarding settings as well. But just be very, very skeptical of anything you get from people. And back up your computer if there's So if you get ransomware on your computer, which is a little bit harder to get, but you still could get ransomware, spyware, back up your computer so that if it happens, you can wipe your computer and pull back your data from before that attack happens to you. Karen?
Lynn, I really appreciated your message this week that you sent out to a bunch of us. This is not a phishing.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways they tend to do it. I need a favor from you.
Right.
So if you actually need a favor from someone, you might just want to be like, hey, Even though I say that I need a favor, this is legit. Another way to check it is check the email address. If you double click the name of the persons that sent the email, you should see the email name. So for example, my email is lgeorge@westminsterpc.org. But if it was a phishing email, it might be l.george@westminster.gmail.com. So it might be a different email that came from. They just stole my identity. So that's another way to check it.
See, I got the email and my first thought was, look at this. I got this from somebody pretending she's Lynn and now she wants a favor from me. So,
Mhm. And if you say get an email like that from me, that's not actually from my email. You can report it as phishing. You can also just let me know that somebody did that. And I can report it as well.
the one you sent out is set in the to line to Maddie
Yes.
and then to nobody else except for me. And I thought, well, I'm not that special. I think you probably sent it to a lot of people.
I did.
So when you do that, the names don't necessarily come out on the
So the way I sent the email this week, I blind copied all of you. So if you responded, you wouldn't respond to everyone because not everybody would want a email saying, I'll be there, because they don't care.
They don't. I wrote.
So it's a way
paragraph.
to avoid the nasty reply all messages that you get. And it's also a way that it keeps your information private from the rest of the group as well. So if you don't want, say, for example, Stephen to have your email, he wouldn't be able to access it in the future.
It's okay. I trust him almost implicitly.
Good.
Almost.
I'm just picking on him today because his video is right next to mine. Any other questions?
Just a comment, now that I have a mouse, I can double click. Yay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna start writing things down during the week because things I encounter.
I have to
some,
go. There's someone at the door.
and then I forget.
have a
about
good
it.
week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Patty.
Dan, I figured you wrote them down every week because you normally have a list of things you want to
Part
discuss.
of it's Patty. I know. But now that I'm excessively mature, I just forget things.
Yeah. You could always, you have a Alexa, right?
Oh, yes. Tell
So
her.
you could ask her to tell you the news too, so you don't have to read.
That I don't know. That sounds so pedestrian. I don't know why I said that.
I enjoy that. I like having that. You can set up different news organizations to let you know the news.
She has questions about, she has us rate things and so on, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I just say, be quiet when she gets to that point. But I like question of the day. That's my favorite thing about my Alexa each day. Testing my trivia knowledge.
Yeah, speaking of that, ever watch Jeopardy, the different hosts? Do you ever watch that? The last 2 weeks, it's been from, who is it? Dr. Sanjay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done a good
I've
job.
actually never seen a full episode of Jeopardy.
You haven't,
No.
but yet you mentioned the word trivia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't tend to watch game shows for whatever reason. I don't know why.
it's not part of your sweet day.
Uh,
Oh, Dan.
Touche.
Thank
You
you,
are
Dan.
on top of things today, Dan. Oh,
All
man.
right. I think it's time for us to leave.
Yeah.
Let-
Have a
let
good
Lynn-
week. If
let
you
Lynn
guys think of
continue.
anything else,
Okay,
Okay.
bless
Just
you
shout.
guys.
yeah.
Okay?
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.